Hello, folks. As soon as my partner gets in, we'll start with tonight's episode of the MegaMets. As our New Year... Oh, there he is.
Yeah, I am here.
Happy New Year. Welcome to the MegaMets podcast. Tonight, it's it's the collaboration between New Japan, CMLL, AEW, ROH, and Wonder Ring STARDOM, known as Wrestle Dynasty, which will occur January 5th, also taking place from the Tokyo Dome. We don't have the main card's order set up just yet, but let's run down what is shown. We'll kick off with an International Women's Cup 4-way. Persephone from CMLL, LL. From Stardom, Momo Watanabe of Hate. Willow Nightingale of AEW, and the fucking falling psycho bitch god and Ring of Honor Women's Champion,
But
Athena.
Of course. But of course.
I put emphasis on calling Athena a psycho bitch. Let me address some with you, Tony Khan. 2 years now, you've had the same opportunity at Final Battle to pull the trigger and have Billy dethrone Athena and make her fucking mortal. And both times you fucking refused to pull the trigger. I'm not waiting another full fucking year. You've got to super card on April 18th to get that belt off her.
Yes,
you hear me, Tony? Self-serving little bitch!
I admire your frustration.
Yeah, the hate towards Tony Khan that I have towards Tony Khan is swelling. I so desperately want to kill him and make it a more full, clear-cut, good guys win, bad guys lose situation. I mean, yes, it gets boring, but you get my frustration at this point.
We get it, believe me.
It's like that song from the Death Note musical. Where is the justice?
What to pick for this decision?
I'm gonna go with Athena.
I'm gonna go with Athena. This is obvious.
Next, oh god, this one.
Now we get to the next kickoff match. The Ring of Honor Tag Team titles. You have the champions Sammy Guevara and Dustin Rhodes face off against the House of Torture.
Why in the fuck are we even having this match? And I sent my video request to Tanahashi to Rocky Romero to send to Tanahashi. Unfortunately, Tanahashi has cut off any private direct messaging on his X account. Actually, most of the wrestlers outside Rocky have cut off their X accounts.
I guess they do it not to deal with annoying fans.
Well, as annoying as I can be, at least in my case, requesting, and in some cases demanding Tanahashi make the stipulation that if Evil loses at Wrestle Kingdom, House of Torture's got to disband. If the stipulation is added at the festival this weekend that if Evil loses, he's got to get his head shaved bald. He's got to get his head shaved. It's not the worst thing in the world, but I could live with it. It's not what I want, but I could live with it. Know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
And would knock the House of Torture down a couple of pegs. But on the other hand, if that happens, Evil's going to be going on a hissy fit rampage. You know, better yet, instead of having some shears and scissors for Evil's hair, how about you bring a goat into the ring and have it eat it?
That would be funny, but also painful.
Well, considering goats will eat just about anything.
Yeah, I get you. I'm having the champs retain. The House of Torture can go to all the house. I do not want to
see the tag. I do not want to see, as poorly used as these tag belts are, I do not want to see them held hostage by a group who was everything except honorable. Next up is a mystery 8-man Lucha Gauntlet. 4 men from CMLL, 4 men from New Japan. Question is, who's going to be involved? First pinfall or submission wins. Every competitor will enter in 1-minute intervals after the first 2.
This will prove to be an interesting sort.
especially since we don't know who's going to be in this. So I hate to say this, folks, but we can't really make a prediction here.
I know.
So we'll just move on.
I can't make a prediction either, so we're like, ugh. Anyway, my turn. For the NJPW Strong Women's Championship and the RPW Undisputed British World Championship, it's title for title. You have the Undisputed British Women's Champion, or the UBWC. Oh, God damn it.
Just say Rev Pro.
Yeah, Rev Pro champion Mina Shirakawa versus the Strong Women's Champion Mercedes Moné,
who basically stole the show this past Saturday against Chris Statlander at World's End in her TBS retention.
Indeed. It's title for title with a 30-minute time limit, too.
One woman's leaving the belt collector, so I'm whipping the coin out early.
Whip the coin. Time for us to see.
Heads, Shirakawa. Tails, Moné. That was my best flip.
Indeed.
Tails. I'm going Moné.
I'm going Shirakawa. Both of them are very talented, in my opinion. And these two are going to deliver a hell of a show.
Let's hope so. Next up, IWGP Heavyweight Tag titles on the line. Who will be the 106th IWGP Heavyweight Tag Champs? Will it be the Young Bucks, Matthew Nicholas Jackson, or the Great Okan and whoever he chooses as his partner? Originally, this was meant to be Okan and Hanare, but Hanare blew his knee out during the World Tag League, which led to him and Okan getting stripped. Which led to him and Okan getting stripped of the IWGP Heavyweight Tag titles. Hence the reason why the semi-main event for Wrestle Kingdom itself is the World Tag League winners, Tetsuya Naito and Hiromu Takahashi, facing each other.
Pretty much in a nutshell. Damn, this is tough.
Much like with the ROH Tag Title match, as much as I know that Matt and Nick are former one-time heavyweight tag champs, I don't want the IWGP Heavyweight Tag Titles to be held hostage in another promotion. So I'm going to give this to Okan and whoever he chooses.
Fair. I'll also do the same. The Young Bucks, sorry, but not today.
Next up.
Never wait open. I'm choosing.
Right.
You went last.
Oh,
My turn. For the never open weight championship, Hiro Ishii, the challenger, will face off against either Konosuke Takeshita or Shingo Takagi, the champion. Should Takeshita remain AEW IC champ after the year's end, it's going to be for a double title match.
And, spoilers, he did beat Powerhouse Hobbs. So, Takagi versus Takeshita is for both the AEW International and the Never Openweight Class Championships.
Title for title. This is going to be ugly.
Granted, this matchup is strictly for the Never title only.
To be expected, of course.
Does Ishii make it a 7th run and get that elusive 7th run as the Never Openweight Champion? I mean, it's a belt he's the most synonymous with.
Yep.
And given that he didn't make the cut in the he didn't make the cut for the G1 Climax, he didn't make the cut for the Tag League.
I swear the guy can't catch a break.
I mean, it's basically a telltale sign that Ishii's going to eventually go down to New Japan dad status and eventually be relegated to a trainer or at the Noge Dojo sooner or later.
No wonder.
But if he's going to have one last shot at glory, I'm going to say Ishii wins.
I say Ishii will win as well.
Next up, Yota Tsuji versus Jack Perry. If Tsuji beats Finlay on January 4th, this will be for the Global Heavyweight Championship.
What do you think? Who's going to end up winning that one?
I'm going to give it to Tsuji. We both predicted he would lose to Finlay because the whole third time is a charm mantra for Finlay.
Yeah, pretty much.
So either it's going to be a way to help get his confidence back up, or it's going to knock him down. I'm more in line with the former because Tsuji's going to defend.
Is that Terry's got support of the House of Torture, which is worse.
That's true. Forgot about that.
I know.
You're up.
Okay, now it's time. Another special singles match. We have David Finlay versus Brody King. But should Finlay be victorious, this will be for the IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship. One-time allies now become enemies.
I mean, when you consider that Finlay is probably one of the the youngest cut, most brutal, and downright the most violent iteration of Bullet Club I've ever seen since I've been following the product back in 2015 in the War Dogs.
Wow.
On the other hand, Brody King has been reduced to a lackey in the Kings of the Black Throne alongside Malachi Black.
Yep.
If it's Finlay who walks out of this victorious, no-brainer, V6 for Finlay.
I know. This is going to be tough to predict.
Well, for me, it's pretty easy. I'm taking Finlay.
I'll also take Finlay. This will prove to be, like I said, an interesting game.
Shota Umino versus Claudio Castagnoli. Should Shota win, this will be for the IWGP World Heavyweight title. When you consider how the Blackpool Combat Club devolved into the Death Riders over the course of the autumn, and Moxley became more ruthless and going as far as to lock the AEW World Championship in a fucking briefcase.
Yeah.
And now he's got someone new coming after him at Revolution, that being Adam Copeland, FKA Edge.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, use the streaming platform I told you about to watch Final Battle to watch World's End, and FTR and Adam Copeland are back, and they formed a little trio called Rated FTR.
Indeed.
But we all know where it's going. March 2nd, Moxley versus Copeland for the world title. Now, the question is, will the rest of the Death Riders be in the Tokyo Dome? I don't think so. However, that said, Umino is going to be in that funk that I mentioned that Naito was in about 10 years ago. Or rather, he's in that spot where it may be a matter of time or within a year or so, he may be going on excursion to other promotions to redefine his character. That may push him to the moon and get him the title back, the title he craves.
Yeah. What to pick? And should Umino be victorious, this will also be an IWGP Championship match. What is going on?
Well, when you consider that they're basically setting up, because it's more like dream match. But out of these two, the matches between Umino and Castagnoli and Zack against Ricochet, the latter looks like the more palpable title match, if you ask me.
Uh-huh. I agree.
I'm going to say Claudio wins.
I also say Claudio, a.k.a. Cesaro. God, I still miss that.
Granted, in this case, that's only if Shota loses at Wrestle Kingdom. If he wins, then I'm going to give it to Shota. Next up.
Ooh, this one. Zack Sabre Jr. versus Ricochet. But should Sabre be victorious in January 4th, this will be an IWGP World Heavyweight Championship match. They haven't fought each other for the first time in 7 years. This will prove to be quite interesting.
Yep. From their first matchup in 2013 on the UK indie scenes. Both men are world travelers. Both men have been in New Japan at varying points. Both men have been champions in New Japan. Ricochet, a former never openweight six-man tag champion twice. once with the combination of Satoshi Kojima and David Finlay, and once with the combination of Hiroshi Tanahashi and Ryusuke Taguchi in 2016 and 2017, respectively. He also, I believe, twice held the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Titles, once with Matt Sydal in 16 and once with Ryusuke Taguchi in 17. He's also a former Best of the Super Juniors winner back in 2014. Granted, he was not successful in this cash-in against Kota Ibushi.
Yep.
Both men are former Pro Wrestling Guerrilla World Champions.
This will be wild. What to pick? Both of them are talented.
One is more of a technician, the other a high flyer, though he has tried to go with the power game.
Technicality versus high flying. This will be a tough one.
Coins back out.
Bring the coin.
Heads, Zach. Tails, Ricochet. Heads. I'm going Zach.
I'm going Ricochet. And now the main event.
Oh boy.
Yes, indeed.
Having returned from a nearly fatal stomach ailment.
Oh, man.
Being gone for over a year in wrestling in general. 2 years since removed from his last match in Japan. Kenny Omega battles the strong openweight champion, and this is not for the title, I just want to stress.
It's a non-title match, basically.
Gabe Kidd. The Madman against the Best Bout Machine. Can Kenny Omega prove that Kidd has got a long ways to go? I mean, you've got a guy who, while he can get violent when he wants to in Kenny Omega, is more of a guy centered around finesse, athleticism, and basically showmanship. Kidd, on the other hand, says fuck that and just goes into straight up violence.
That's honestly the only obvious choice.
For him, anyway. And believe me when I say this, folks, if you've listened to any of my calls of his matches over the years, whether it was at Windy City Riot, whether it was at Fighting Spirit Unleashed, whether it was at Strong Style Evolved, Gabe Kidd is one of the most violent motherfuckers I have ever come across. No questions asked. But I think Kenny will prove the kid has still got a ways to go. I'm giving this to Omega.
Nice. I'm giving it to Gabe.
Fair enough. You're going youth over age?
Yep, I go youth over age.
That's fair. That's it for tonight's show. Next up on our docket, we'll be back next week for our predictions of New Japan Strong's first showing of the year, Battle in the Valley, which will occur on January 11th. And on Saturday, January 11th, from there, we predict TNA Genesis. And from there, the week after that, we'll do our predictions for TNA Genesis, which occurs on Sunday, January 19th. And then probably the day before or the day of, we'll be looking at the Royal Rumble 2025.
This will be fun.
We're going to have quite the loaded January.
Very.
That's it for tonight's MegaMets podcast. Comment, like, share, and subscribe. And also subscribe to myself and other members of the Big Blue Crew Sports Network. This is Mets2128. He's Mega Man NG. We are the MegaMets. Goodbye and good night. Bang.
Bang.
See you next week and Happy New Year, partner.
Likewise.